Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, CHRAJ, has recommended a forensic audit and potential prosecution of the Board of Trustees of the National Cathedral Project for procurement breaches. This is contained in an over 160-page report from CHRAJ after investigations into allegations of corruption and abuse of power following complaints by Member of Parliament for Northong Okudzeto Ablakwa in January 2023 to investigate the Secretary of the National Cathedral Board of Trustees, Reverend Kusi Boateng, over conflict of interest, including possession of multiple identities and other alleged criminal dealings. The report highlights several breaches of Ghana's procurement laws, particularly in the award of the construction of the contract to Rebade Company Limited. Now, excerpt of that 165-page report of CHRAJ says the contract was void ab initio for being entered into contrary to the mandatory provisions of the Procurement Act 663 as mandated or amended by Act 194. Additionally, CHRAJ is urging the Auditor General to conduct a forensic audit of the project, citing concerns about 225,962,500 Ghana cedis spent as of May 31, 2022. Described as seed money, this sum of money has been expended on site preparation, contractors mobilization, US fundraising, consultants, and symposia. Public interest indicates that there ought to be value for money in project execution. Unfortunately, this commission has no expertise to determine whether there have been value for money, considering the project remains in the same state. CHRAJ expressed concern over the reputational risks posed by the project controversies, emphasizing that breaches of the procurement laws could attract international embarrassment to the country, considering its international status and that of Rebade Company Limited. The Commission further recommends for investigations and possible prosecution Board of Trustees of the National Cathedral, who superintended over the award of the contract to Rebade Company in disregard to Act 663 as amended. The report, signed by the Commissioner of CHRAJ, Joseph Vital, also called on the Public Procurement Authority to intervene and cancel the contract of the construction of the National Cathedral between the National Cathedral and Rebade Company, and it has the power to do so under the Procurement Act. Now, CHRAJ also cleared Reverend Kusi Boateng of allegations regarding the transfer of 2.6 million Ghana cedis cash from the National Cathedral Secretariat to JNS Talent Center Limited, owed by Reverend Kusi Boateng under his secondary identity, Kwabne Dujemfi. The CHRAJ report, however, found that Reverend Kusi Boateng, also known as Kwabne Dujemfi, holds a single passport in the latter name. The Commission stated that there was no evidence of a second passport issued under the name Kusi Boateng, contrary to the claims made by Honorable Ablakwa. CHRAJ investigation revealed that no services were rendered by JNS Talent Center for this payment of the 2.6 million Ghana cedis. Instead, it determined that the funds were a reimbursement to Reverend Kusi Boateng, who had advanced payment to contractors working on the National Cathedral project when the Secretariat faced financial challenges. The petitioner, in this case, Member of Parliament for Northong Okudzeto Ablakwa, has been speaking to us.
My petition succeeded in procurement breaches in terms of the corruption-related offenses. It is the matter to do with conflict of interest in the case of Reverend Kusi Boateng that CHRAJ failed to reach a confirmation of the allegations I made. Reading the submissions from CHRAJ, it is clear to me that CHRAJ, when it comes to the conflict of interest matter, they did not look at the full evidence before them. They relied on only passports, whereas if they had paid attention to the full evidence, as the courts of our country have done in the case of the High Court, you'll notice that they looked at all the IDs that I produced, driver's license, Ghana card. But even then, CHRAJ itself concedes that whereas he was appointed to the board as Reverend Kusi Boateng, his diplomatic passport is issued in another name, which is Kwabena Edu Jemfi. So it is quite surprising that on the double identity and the conflict of interest matters, CHRAJ only scratched the surface. They did not really deal with the full evidence before them. But look, this is a very damning report. If you read the findings in full, CHRAJ has concluded that this National Cathedral project, they did not follow the procurement laws of our country. Indeed, CHRAJ is saying that the contract awarded to Ribade showed the council and that it is an illegal contract. It is illegal ab initio. CHRAJ is also saying, if you read the findings that they have come to, that the Board of Trustees, for engaging in all of these illegalities and corrupt conduct, should be further investigated and prosecuted. This is a report that I will welcome. I continue to study it. If there are portions that we ought to go back to CHRAJ for a review, we will. Board of Trustees of the National Cathedral ought to be very, very worried about this report. The Attorney General's Department should be interested in this. Unfortunately, the Attorney General is conflicted. He served on the board until he resigned recently. The CHRAJ recommends that all those who took this decision, it includes the current Attorney General. At the time, he was Deputy Attorney General, serving on the board. You can't expect the Attorney General really to take this matter up and be prosecuting himself. It will be good to see OSP take this up, but I can assure you that the next NDC government, inshallah, is going to take up these findings. You don't spend over $58 million and then there's nothing to show for it. In an insolvent country, a country that people are struggling to make a living, where you have compelled people to take financial haircuts, and this is what you do with over 339 million Ghana cedis of their money. And as CHRAJ observed, they are not convinced that the amount of money spent so far, that is the result we should be getting, that there has been value for money. And CHRAJ is saying that they will immediately recommend that there is a value for money audit. We need to find out where our 339 million Ghana cedis has gone to. We should never have gotten to this point. And you read the details, how our laws were just cited, how things were done in a very reckless, haphazard manner. When we are talking about public funds, you see in the report that CHRAJ is saying that we didn't get value for money. They attach photos in their report. This report will now have to be studied by all of us. There are some aspects that CHRAJ is recommending further investigation, and so they do not specify which institution should carry out those further recommendations. So I believe that all of us, all the institutions, Parliament, OSP, IOCO, all those who are minded to pay attention to some of the aspects that CHRAJ has recommended further investigation. I think that as conscientious citizens, we have to take these aspects up. We should not let this country down. We should not derelict in our constitutional mandate.
So that's the Member of Parliament for North Tongue, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa. He's the petitioner in this report that CHRAJ has brought out, 165 pages on the National Cathedral, making some recommendation that even the contract awarded to Rebadi from the onset was illegal because it breached procurement laws. Auditor General should relook at it, conduct a forensic audit into the amount of money that have been spent, over 255 million Ghana cedis, and also make some recommendation, possibly prosecution of the Board of Trustees. Now, we made efforts to speak to the Board of Trustees of the National Cathedral on the CHRAJ report, whether they've seen it, what they're doing about it. They're going to read it. We've been unsuccessful. But let's speak to Chief Crusader for Crusaders Against Corruption, Mr. Emmanuel Wilson Jr. Good evening to you, sir. Thank you very much for your time tonight in 505.
Good evening.
So when this issue broke, you're one of the people who are talking about the monies, National Cathedral, forensic audit. Now the CHRAJ report is out. I'm sure you've seen excerpt or highlight of it. What's your immediate reactions to some of the recommendations and findings by CHRAJ?
Well, I have, just like you indicated. I've seen the reports, but some snippets I have been able to read. And clearly speaking, if you look at the proposals coming from CHRAJ, I believe it's laudable. Laudable in the sense that one of the things killing us has to do with procurement breaches. And so, summary, there are about 3 issues that have been identified. The first one is whether or not the person has a dual name or citizenship, or having 2 different passports, as it may be. And the second one is whether or not there was any procurement breaches. And the third one has to do with whether or not there was any conflict of interest. The first 2, CHRAJ indicated that there wasn't any case that can be leveled against the one involved. But the third one, as I indicated earlier, which is of interest to me, has to do with the procurement breaches. It is very important that CHRAJ has come out with this report. CHRAJ has come out with this additional investigations and the proposals that CHRAJ has made. My belief and my trust is that the appropriate anti-corruption institutions will take these proposals quickly up and then find a way of doing a certain investigation for us to get to the bottom of it.
Who are the appropriate anti-corruption institutions
I
that
would
you
have
think
wished,
should take up?
I would have wished that the special prosecutor would have taken this, because it falls under his jurisdiction. But over the past period, you know that I have indicated consistently that the special prosecutor has not convinced me enough that he's capable of executing the mandate given to him. But all things being equal, the special prosecutor's office should have been the appropriate authority that we today.
So, in the absence of a good job that would not likely, according to you, be done by the special prosecutor, who else should take interest in this matter?
Well, I think as far as breaches are concerned,
Mr. Wilson, I'm losing you intermittently. Can you please reposition for me? Can you speak
Hello?
up? Yes, it's far better now. Thank you.
My apologies. I'm actually on my way to Kumasi to have our Crusaders conference, which is taking place this Wednesday.
Okay.
So if the network is not good, please pardon my apologies to the listeners. So as I indicated, yes, as I indicated, the CN is through an appropriate authority because they have the mandate to do same. But the appropriate figure in the special prosecutor's office, we should rely on the department to do this work.
Okay. The Attorney General's department, you say? Did you say the Attorney General?
No. I'm talking about the CID.
CID, okay.
Yes,
Criminal Investigations Department as well.
Exactly.
Okay. So the Auditor General has been mentioned in the CHRAJ report. They want a forensic audit of the project because, according to CHRAJ, per what they've seen on the ground, they cannot be able to tell whether there's value for money, considering the fact that the project remains in the same state. Yet we've expended 225 million, I should say, 962,500 spent as at May 31, 2022. But according to the records that has been provided by Parliament or to Parliament, we've spent in excess of 330 something million. Do you think the Auditor General can do a fantastic job in auditing, forensic audit of the money spent so far? Mr. Wilson, are you there? I'm sorry we lost Emmanuel Wilson there, and apologies. He says he's on his way to Kumasi for their conference, which is just 2 days away. That's why we are having that intermittent breaking the lines. But I'm sure his point has been made successfully. If you're yet to see the CHRAJ report, go on classfmonline.com. The 165-page report is there. Read for yourself. If you can't go through, or just go to the findings and the recommendations. I'm told Mr. Wilson has rejoined us on the line. Mr. Wilson, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Great. So I was asking you about the role the Auditor General is playing in this, because CHRAJ is urging Auditor General to conduct a forensic audit into the amounts that have been spent so far, they say that they cannot be able to indicate whether there's value for money because the project still remains at the same state even after spending millions of Ghana cedis on it. You think that the Auditor General is also another institution that can do a good job?
I think this falls squarely on the doorsteps of the Auditor General. It is quite unfortunate, as I have been saying, that we've polarized the institutions over the past period. The Auditor General has the mandate to do the forensic audit, and we are expecting the Auditor General to do same. If you ask whether or not the Auditor General would do a perfect work, it's actually a different conversation to have, because the current Auditor General has not also been able to convince me, particularly in the matters of CHRAJ, has not been able to convince me absolutely that he is able to do work devoid of emotions or some political influences. But the proposal made by CHRAJ that forensic audit should be done by the Auditor General is apt, and it's in line with the law as we have it.
Again, even if the Auditor General is going to do an audit, do we foresee us getting it earlier? Because this position was sent somewhere in January 2023. We are in November 2024. It's over a year. CHRAJ is now bringing the report. So if the Auditor General decides to investigate this, how soon can we get something like this to warrant prosecution?
Your guess is as good as mine. And clearly, I don't expect that between now and 7th of January, when there will obviously be a change in government because Akufo-Addo is no more contestant, between now and then, I don't see the Auditor General coming up with any report. I am hoping that it will be done as fast as possible, because justice delayed is also justice denied. But as to whether it can be done between now and 7th January, I don't see it happening. Obviously, it will go into the next administration that we'll be having.
And again, depending on who wins the election, whether or not this will be done is another matter. But as citizens, how do we get state institutions to work? Because yes, the CHRAJ has done their report. They are urging Auditor General to do theirs, asking for further investigations and prosecutions. Obviously, their mandate does not allow them to do that. How do we push the other state institutions to take up from where CHRAJ has gotten to, so that they also do their work, irrespective of the outcome of the December 7 elections?
What we need to do as citizens is to have what we call citizens engagement. The most important thing for us to do, one of it is what we are doing in the platform you have created, for us to bring to the awareness of the citizens that this is what is happening. Fortunately, we just have about 1 or 2 weeks, barely 2 weeks into making a major decision. And that is also one platform for citizens to decide, because over the past period, particularly in this 4 years, 8 years past, it is clear, if you compare it to the various administrations we've had, it is clear which leader has what it takes or has exhibited commitment when it comes to the fight against corruption and issues of this matter. 7th December affords us an opportunity for us to decide. So it is important for us, if we really want to get to the end of this matter, 7th December is the first step for us. Let us go in and make a decisive, vote, decision. Let's decide on who we think or we believe is able and has committed to fighting corruption, a leader. That's the person we need to vote for, and that's the first thing we need to do. The second thing we need to do as citizens is that even after the elections, whoever wins, citizens also have, or they still have, the power to ensure that the government of the day does what needs to be done. For instance, there has been instances in this country where citizens have taken to the street consistently, and government have changed certain policies. The same way, consistently, the citizens have taken to the street. They have rebelled in a positive manner, and it has forced the government of the day to rescind certain decisions. That is an option for us. That is an avenue for us as citizens. But first and foremost, has to do with this coming election, 7th December. It affords us a major opportunity to decide on who we really believe has what it takes and has exhibited some level of commitment in fighting corruption.
Mr. Wilson, very grateful for your time tonight on 505. Emmanuel Wilson Jr. as the Chief Crusader for Crusaders Against Corruption.